Look, let's be real for a second. There's a ton of anxiety out there about AI and what it means for our jobs, right? It kind of feels like this massive storm is brewing on the horizon. But here's the thought. What if that storm wasn't something to fear, but a force you could actually harness? In this explainer, we're going to break down a completely new perspective on how to survive, and yeah, even thrive, in the age of AI.
Okay, so let's just dive right into the problem. This wave of layoffs we're seeing everywhere, it's not your typical economic downturn. Nope, this is something different. We are looking at a fundamental, deep-level shift in the very structure of work itself, and it's all being driven by these incredibly powerful AI agents.
And the numbers? They're just staggering. I mean, just recently, tech giants like Amazon and Microsoft laid off over 35,000 people combined. And you want to know the main reason? It wasn't just a slow quarter. It was a strategic move to slim down their entire organizations by bringing in AI. And believe me, this is only the beginning.
So what's really happening here is that the traditional career path, that employment ladder we all understood, well, it's being dismantled piece by piece. AI agents are now so capable they can handle tasks from entry-level analysis and coding all the way up to middle management. This completely breaks that chain of progression that's defined careers for decades.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This slide shows the huge gap in how people are using AI. See, most people treat it like a souped-up search engine. They ask it random questions and get different, often kind of unreliable results every time. But the experts? Oh, they treat it like a system you can program. They define roles for it, they set clear constraints, and they build automated structures with it. Closing this gap is the absolute first step to taking back control.
So, this is the crucial point, the main takeaway. We need a radical change in our mindset. The goal isn't to try and compete with AI, because, let's be honest, that's a losing game. The real goal is to command it, to become the architect, not just another cog in the machine.
And that brings us to this really powerful question. What if you started to see AI not as some kind of threat, but as your own personal, tireless employee? I mean, think of it as an extension of your own mind and your capabilities, a second me that you direct, you manage, you own.
You see, when you make that mental shift, it opens up a completely new identity for you. You're no longer just an employee renting out your time for a paycheck. You become an information producer, and even better, a business owner who is creating and owning valuable digital assets powered by your own AI team.
But okay, to be a real digital business owner, you need a place to build your business, right? You need your own property, not just some rented space. And right now, most of us are basically digital renters, living on platforms owned by somebody else.
So the solution to that big problem is to build your own digital home. And this is where a concept like Metacubit comes into play. Now, don't think of it as just another app on your phone. Think of it more like the operating system for your entire digital life, kind of like how Windows runs your computer. It's the foundational hub where you truly control and own everything you do and create online.
And this slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got Web 2.0. We're all living in these temporary, flimsy tents on land owned by giant platforms. We can build, sure, but we don't actually own a thing. Now on the right, you have the new model, built on an underlying technology called SmartCubic. This is your personal Metacubic, a sturdy digital home built on land that is legally registered in your name. It's yours.
So, how does it actually do that? Well, it gives every single person and every digital thing they create a unique semantic URI. You can think of this as a digital title deed. It's a one-of-a-kind internet address that legally and technically proves your ownership over your data, your content, and everything your AI generates for you. Okay, so now you have your own digital property. The next logical question is, how do you build on it? What are the actual tools you use to create a real business in this new space? The key is a technique called the mashup. And this isn't just about mixing two things together. We're talking about fusing completely different technologies, things like virtual reality, QR codes from the physical world, and AI APIs, to invent entirely new digital products and services that have never existed before. This is your creative toolkit for the future. And here is a simple but really powerful framework for putting this all into action. It's a 4-step pipeline. Step 1, define your idea and your identity. Step 2, use AI and these mashup techniques to generate unique content. Step 3, accumulate all these valuable assets in your own digital headquarters, your Metacubic. And finally, Step 4, expand your reach to social media and global portals, all while you retain 100% ownership. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but what does a business built on this tech actually look like in the real world? Especially for a small business. Well, meet Reward Cubic. The slogan really says it all. Scan once, own your customers. This is a perfect example of a mashup application built with that smart cubic technology, and it's designed specifically for local shops, cafes, and restaurants.
So, what does it do? It mashes up a super simple offline action, a customer just scanning a QR code, with a really powerful online system that gives the business owner AI-driven customer analysis and manages their entire rewards program. It solves a huge problem for small businesses: how to actually know and keep their customers without needing a whole team of expensive data scientists.
And when you put it side by side with the big guys like Salesforce or HubSpot, you really see the genius of it. Those old CRMs are incredibly complex, super expensive, and they're built for massive corporations. Reward Cubic, on the other hand, is simple, it's affordable, and it was designed from the ground up to connect the physical and digital worlds specifically for the small business owner. And this all brings us to the biggest idea of all. Because this isn't just about creating new businesses. It's about fundamentally rebuilding the internet into something more reliable, something we can actually trust. We're moving away from the current model of these siloed vertical platforms that control everything, and we're moving towards a horizontal, interconnected Web 3.0 network. It's a whole new structure where power flows back to the individual creators and users, all linked together, but with each person in total control of their own space. At its very core, the Smart Cubic technology is a trust protocol. You can think of it as being built on an address OS, where every single piece of information and every action can be traced back to a unique human-owned address. In a world full of anonymous bots and AI-generated noise, this system ensures that the final responsibility and ownership always rests with a real person.
So let's just bring it all together with this final thought. AI isn't the end of work. It's a massive transformation of what work even means. With the right tools and the right mindset, you can go from being a digital renter to a digital landowner. The question is no longer, will AI take my job? The real question is, how will I use AI to build my very own digital territory?